So we've got the stair treads here. They're all sanded now and ready for finishing. We're going to use a kind of a wipe-on poly finish, as you'll see in a future video. But right now I just want to show you the procedure we went through for the sanding. As you may remember, these treads started off as rough lumber, and we planed them on the thickness planer, and the result was pretty smooth, but thickness planers never create a finish-ready surface. So what you see here is a finish-ready surface. The edges are perfectly smooth, as you saw in a previous video, thanks to the pattern routing technique. We've got a little bit of a chamfer here. It still looks square, but we don't have the problem of the sharp edge being there. And things are perfectly smooth. And that's what this video is about. When it comes to preparing wood like this for finishing, I like to use 3 different kinds of sanders. This is a belt sander, and it's the most aggressive of the 3 here, and it gets rid of all the mill marks. In this case, we started with a 100 grit disc, fairly coarse. They get coarser, but this is a good initial disc. A belt. This is a good initial belt for starting with wood that's been planed. That's going to remove all the mill marks, as I said, but it's not nearly going to be refined enough. So for the second stage, I like to use this half sheet inline sander. In this case, we found the 120 grit worked the best, and it's used in a straight line. Most of the movement of this sanding pad is back and forth. There's a little bit of swirling action, which is not great, but most of it is back and forth, and it's just a matter of passing the sander over until all of the scratch marks left behind by the coarser belt have been removed. That gets us about halfway or so to a finish-ready surface. The next step is a quarter sheet finishing sander. In this case, we used 180 grit paper. And once again, it's just evenly using this machine back and forth. That's going to get things pretty close, but there really is no substitute for hand sanding with the grain. So as a final step, we used 220 grit paper fairly vigorously by hand, but only in the direction of the wood grain. And I don't know if this comes through in the video or not, but there's no scratch marks. It's perfectly smooth, ready for finishing, and really the only step left right now is to vacuum these pieces off so they're perfectly dust-free. But this is how you sand wood, especially in a high-profile situation like these stair treads, or a tabletop, or any large expanse of wood that's going to get a lot of attention. Thanks for watching. Click here to join the thousands of people who get the Bailey Line Road hands-on how-to newsletter for free every Saturday morning.